everybody, how are you doing? I am Ravie Davie, the Fresh Prince of the Des Moines Square, and I am George with my partner
Georgia.
And this is the 10 Years In podcast, and we are now episode 6 or episode 6. And today I'm going to be honest with you, I am rough as toast. So I get in this morning at 7:30 after a night in the Savoy, Sav Sunday, first time I've been in it since it has been done up. I actually got up the elevator and my wrestling music was actually playing in the dancing Summer Dreams of Love. I felt if I didn't already think I was the main character, I'm on now, you know what I mean? I'm getting an entrance into the Savoy, here we go. Opened the elevators opened, walked in, and then my wee trainee wrestler E-Town was got to the toilet at the same time as me, and he's like, no way. And apparently he'd actually been saying to his hand on that, imagine Davey came in now while his music's playing, and I actually did come in, so he's obviously he's like taking his wee glasses off. Back on. Is shooting up. But anyway, so I'm rough today. So there's a good chat. I'm about to say something that you're going to think I'm talking a lot of crap because I've just sat and spoke for about 5 minutes. But I think Georgia's going to be the one that's looking after us today, right? She's got to be in her controlling hands. So on you go, notepad.
Being fair to you, quite a lot of people at the weekend at wrestling have told me they feel like I sort of take control of the podcast anyway. So
take control of my full life, to be fair. I know,
and it's a sore heed. But as you said, we are on episode 6. I'm actually surprised we're sitting here both together. I actually didn't think we were going to make it to episode 6, since I think we argued more last week than we have in the last 5 years. Because me and David had a big week of wrestling, and that resulted in us arguing basically every single day about everything. And I was trying to take wee notes so that I could remember what I was going to talk about. But I must say right now, the notepad and this thing is caught on because Marianne, one of the wrestling mums, came into the show on Friday.
Future wrestling wife, to be fair.
Future wrestling wife. She might be the first one.
From
Marianne and Gav might be the first people to get married for the CPW roster.
Definitely.
But she said, I've got a present for you, and she's bought me a new notepad, which I'm now brought to the podcast, and it's on the front of it. She obviously knows me so well, and it says professional chaos coordinator. So I'm loving it. Thank you, Marianne, because I know you watch this. And yes, this has got to be for all my podcast notes. So here we go, another diary to add to the collection.
So this is your 5th notepad now?
That's it.
There we go, 5 notepads, man.
So we did have a big week, and we knew it was going to be a big week. I mean, we've been speaking about it for months, but one of the things that made it a big week other than wrestling was the fact that Bo was starting high school.
I know, man.
Which me and you were so nervous about. And I think we were even arguing who was doing the best high in the morning. So once he got off to school on Wednesday, we were doing pretty well, and I thought he went into school, no bother. He was quite happy, and then something happened that I predicted. I think it was on episode 3, and it was that David didn't put the recycling in the right bin, which resulted in Glasgow, the guys for the Clenny, putting a label on our bin saying the right stuff wasn't in our bin and our bin was not to be collected.
But see, the worst thing about it was, right, honestly, it was literally the only paper hanging in the bin. The guys have obviously opened the bin, seen a bit of paper in it and been like, patch that. Whereas I thought recycling to me, the main thing that you recycle is paper. That's not, I mean, that's the thing that gives me recycle. So surely
you're
that
right.
was in a recycling bin.
But paper is recycling, just in the blue bin, no the black bin.
All right, that makes pure hunters of sense. Right.
So they're no collecting the bin now for 3 weeks. So I don't know how this happened, but then I end up filling out a form for the council. So I don't make the mistakes, but here I'm filling out the forms.
Professional chaos.
But the good thing was the bin got collected 2 days later, so that took away a lot of stress, which was good. Then we got to Thursday last week, and our man Hornswoggle. So Hornswoggle is a former, what type of champion was he?
He's a former WWE superstar who is most famous for being Finley's son, and then at some point being Vince McMahon's son in storyline. He is his gimmick was he was a leprechaun. That was what his wrestling gimmick was. He was a leprechaun. He would come out from under the ring. He would bite people's bums. He would do all these different kind of things. And growing up, honestly, without a shadow of a doubt, one of my biggest heroes growing up as a wrestler, Hornswoggle. So one of the people that don't even know wrestling, I'd say a good a lot of them know who Hornswoggle is.
Yeah.
He's very, very famous, very, very very demure. Well, but no, he's very, very famous, and the thing is, when you meet these famous people, you always think to yourself that they're going to have an ego. I mean, I've got a bit of an ego. Not I mean,
you don't say.
I know what I mean, and I'm just a boy for a council and govern. I mean, so when you meet these big famous wrestlers and that, you think that they're going to maybe be very annoyed. No, not annoyed, but that they used to be in the bright lights of the WWE. Now they're coming to work in we community centres and working man's clubs. I could imagine that. I could see how they could maybe not be bothered with it and stuff like that. But Hornswoggle, my man Dylan, Georgia's new husband, you know what I mean? He was calling Georgia his her work wife all weekend, man. But as I said, so with that, it was just meeting him. He was so fantastic. It was so great, and that was good because when he first got here, Georgia got a text saying that all his luggage they had brought from America with all his merchandise and his things to sell at the shows and his 8x10s and all that had went missing, had been left back in Amsterdam. That's
right. So unfortunately that's the job that I've got, is I book all the flights, all the taxis, trains, any form of transport really is my job. So I'd booked Hornswoggle a flight from Minneapolis to Amsterdam, and then he was getting a connecting flight from Amsterdam to Glasgow, and I was in work on Thursday and I got a message off of KLM, and I'm thinking, why are you saying my suitcase never made it? And I went, oh,
Hornswoggle's suitcase was down at the damn square, got a prix de me, for a wee party before it was time to do. To be fair, his merchandise didn't need to go to the seminar that night, you know what I mean, whereas
so he had 3 suitcases with him. One suitcase he had alone was just all full of books, because he's done so many cool things in his time. So I was proper panicking, but then the next message came through and said that basically suitcases were on the next flight. So thankfully he arrived on the Thursday, and the sort of shows that he was on the Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and as well he wasn't angry with us at it, and that's it. Like, obviously
it wasn't their fault, but you could imagine, especially as well, that thing that I said, you expect these people like maybe to not be as enthusiastic as like myself if I'm like when I'm going to the other countries to wrestle. I love it, it's the business, but I could understand how guys that have been at the WWE and been flown all over the world could maybe not be bothered doing a wee show in Govan, for example, even though to me it's the biggest show of the year, but to these guys it's another drop in the ocean. So I could definitely see that already, and then he's lost his suitcases, so you're like, oh no, that, because I'd be fuming if I'd lost my suitcases if I'd went somewhere to work and half of the income that I'm hopefully going to make is not maybe going to get there. That would be very infuriating. So there was that, and then he obviously off a full day flying as well, obviously like free connecting flights, all that, and then sorry, my bad. Sorry, just try to sprinkle a wee bit of jazz on it. No, I mean, calm down. Anyway,
if that was me, you would have corrected me straight away.
Well, I actually did think it was Fiona. I never corrected you when you said 2, so I don't think I would. I'm not quite all here today. Remember? So as I said, you'd expect him to be raging, but he was brand new. He was great. He was interacted with all the people, all the wrestlers, training. He treated the thing I like about him is treated the person, like me and George are the bosses of the company. He treated us with the same respect as he treated the people that were doing the ring crew and the people that were helping tidy the place up and all that kind of thing. It was just it was really honestly, I can't say more nice things about our man Dylan.
It was so cool, so cool. I was driving him back and forth to his hotel and back to the shows and stuff, because obviously a lot of the guys like David and that, they'll be at the show for really early on and they'll be building the ring and stuff, so any sort of wrestlers that need took back to the airport and back and forth, so I got probably to spend loads of time with him, and that's probably why he ended up just latching his cell phone to me, because he obviously thought she knows which staying. But the best thing that I liked was that he spoke so much about concerts and stuff that he goes to, rather than just all wrestling. And he's got a 14-year-old who he spoke about. We had a show in Hamilton Saturday, and he spoke about his son for Hamilton all the way to Glasgow Airport. That's just how much he was saying that he took his son to meet like Machine Gun Kelly, he took his son to meet Logan Paul, Darby Allin. So these are obviously like big wrestlers. And he's like, he can't accept himself how well he used to do years ago. It's only in the last couple of years he's sort of appreciated the work he's done.
I know, definitely. So we actually had Hornswoggle over for Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So what we done with him for the 4 days is he came into the wrestling school and they done 2 training seminars, and that straight away, this was when I knew the weekend was going to be good, because another thing with former WWE guys, that you think that when they come in and do seminars, it's more like a intimate meet and greet with them. They usually, you like just question and answers for the 2 hours, and you can talk. They just talk to you and stuff like that, because their bodies are broken. They don't really want to be getting in the ring when they don't have to. Well, Hornswoggle wasn't the case. Hornswoggle was in getting guys doing wrestling matches, having them doing drills and things, and giving them feedback on it. And he's been ringside with John Cena wrestling guys, John Cena wrestling Fit Finlay, 2 of the best wrestlers of all time, things like that. He's seen it and done it all. So even though he might not be able to get in the ring and show you how to do moves and stuff, he can give you feedback on what stuff should be actually happening in your match, and how to do it, and how the best and the greatest wrestlers of all time do it. So that was really, really insightful. It was really, really good. And then on to the Friday, we done the Govan Rumble in the Fairfield Club in Govan, aka Madison Square Govan, as it's also known as. So on that show, the Govan Rumble, that's our version of the Royal Rumble. We done a 30-man over the top rope style match where the winner gets a title shot at the Governiversary. But we also had a match called the WLC, and it's actually a match that made Hornswoggle, not made him famous, but if you type in WLC into your YouTube, it'll come up, and it is one of the most famous matches on YouTube. It's got over 13 million views. So I decided to do WLC 2, and it went exactly how I wanted it, expected it to be, and I think it's the best match in CPW history. Then on to Saturday.
No, going back to Friday.
Back to Friday, my bad, Georgia.
There was more special guests in the room on Friday, and not just Hornswoggle.
Oh, my bad. Aye, there was a very, very special guest. Actually, maybe even more special than Hornswoggle. Our good man Curtis was in the house for the Govan Rumble to come down and film some stuff and get some clips, etc. So, Curtis, what did you think of it?
And nobody can see me right now, so I'm kind of hiding here. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it generally was so good. It was amazing. I was saying to you, Georgia, like the community, and everybody coming together and stuff like that, and everybody going mental for the superstars.
Aye.
Just class, man. Just honestly so good. I've never been to a local wrestling company, so that was definitely the first and definitely the best.
Oh, fantastic.
Make sure you go.
Will it be your last?
No, definitely not.
But that's good.
Listen, if you sub me there, I'll be there.
Curtis was saying that the thing that he liked was all the kids knew all the wrestlers and were reacting to all their dance moves and stuff. They particularly liked the freshness.
Who's your man?
Who is 2 Irish guys, Martin and Fabio, who are come over from Dublin a couple of times, and they are just amazing.
Some of the funny. So for a start, they're 2 of the best wrestlers. I know they're amazing. They put 110% into it. They're also very funny, very unique. I don't think there's an act in the world like them in wrestling.
They wrestle, they dance,
they dance.
sing.
They've got a song
I think you should do the dance.
They've got a song on Spotify. So, who's your man? The freshness.
Why are you encouraging him, Curtis?
So the boys are very, very good, and they end up so they came over to wrestle 3 matches, and they ended up wrestling 7 or something over the weekend.
They'll just love wrestling.
Honestly, they love the game. Honestly, I love the wrestling. I think these boys might love it more than me, and that's saying something, because
that is really saying something.
Honestly, but so Martin, Fabio, shout out to them coming in and wrestling all those matches. So then on to Saturday, we had so Saturday was packed for myself. Obviously George as well, but we had to get up at 8 o'clock to go to the hub, collect chairs and stuff like that, drop the ring and all the chairs off at Hamilton Accies football stadium at the fan zone. So the forecasted weather all day was cloudy. It wasn't saying it was going to rain at all.
But we were in Scotland.
So we went through to Irvine and a Gallaudet. So we dropped the ring off. So actually, we dropped the ring off at Hamilton. We went through to Kirkintilloch to borrow another wrestling company's ring, because we had a show on, so it would have been stupid to take one ring to one place and then bring it back. So we took someone else's ring to Irvine, got a couple of their guys on the show and stuff like that. Done a show out in Irvine at the Low Green. Last year we went there and there was about 20 fans. This year there was over 120, 130 fans, just for a free show that we didn't even advertise, never let anybody know about. It was a very last minute thing that came together. So we done that, then went back through to Hamilton. The guys for Grassroots grassroots, they took their ring down with special shout out to Matthew's dad, who I get a lot of hard time, but at the weekend he was the MVP, getting that ring for Hamilton, the hub to Hamilton, then going from Hamilton to Kirky to get the ring, then going to the gala day, then he went back to Kirky. We actually went back, like an idiot, he went back to Govan first, actually, these credits came to he went back to Govan to get a Spider-Man first, and then went to drop the ring off at Kirkentulloch, and then to Hamilton. I feel like you should have just went to Kirkentulloch first, Matthew, then go to Steg, and then came to Hamilton. But you know what, you done great this weekend, mate, so I'll let you away with it.
Right, it was a big tangent about that. It's like you're trying to, because you're tired, you're trying to overcompensate, you're trying to make sure you're talking.
Who's your man?
So it was very, very busy. And
then it was at Hamilton, sorry I'm cutting, but so we go to Hamilton.
You cutting in?
I know, I didn't technically finish my story. You cutting me at first, actually.
It was necessary. It was necessary.
Hamilton, Aki State, right? So you tell me, because you were there actually when we go back.
I was there. In fact, I was there before you. I was so busy as well. So when we go to Hamilton, as soon as me and Bo and Hornswoggle walked in to the pitch, obviously it was outside, this big shower just came, the rain was battering down, and I was thinking, right, hopefully it'll rain the now before we put everything out. And it's only going to last for like 10 minutes, so it eventually did go off, and then we got the ring and all that set up. David thankfully had bought this big massive sheet to go under the canvas. What are you doing? You really want to speak?
I got this tarpaulin sheet, right, this big tarpaulin sheet to put over the ring, right, so that if it did rain before we build it, it won't get wet. Oh, I'm sure you can understand why I got something waterproof it, right? But anyway, we built the ring, right, and I just thought to myself before we put it on, I was like, let's put this tarpaulin in between all the wood and the foam and the canvas that's on top, so hopefully if it goes through, it doesn't go through and soak the foam, because we've got a show on Sunday. So as we didn't get lucky with the rain staying off. Luckily, we did get lucky with everybody turned up, so there was about 350 people outside in Hamilton Stadium, when it had already been raining before they came, and it was kind of tell with the clouds and that it
started raining just as the show started,
and that as well. So we got a bit lucky where the first match it kind of went off for, then the second match, the women's match, it was bucketing down. It was, honestly, I felt so bad for the ladies, especially these ladies. They're hard hitting, they put 110% into their matches, and I feel like because it was raining, they didn't get to give their all, because they obviously didn't want to hurt anyone or themselves out in the rain. So thankfully for us all, after the women's match, it kind of started, it died down, and if at any time that it was raining again, it would be very, very light showers, which was quite good for myself, because I swear if I don't make it to 50, it'll be because of these two shows at the weekend. And when it started raining during the actual show, I nearly had some tears in my eyes.
Somebody came back, one of the wrestlers came out to get me and said, like, you're going to go in there because he's nearly green. And I went in and I'm like, you alright? You're like, it's this man, it's this rain, it's this rain. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, no, I said, nobody has left.
I know, that's nice. So shout out to all the fans, I'm getting hundreds of people shout outs today, but shout out to every single fan that stayed there for the very start. People only left to go to their motors and get brawlies and stuff like that. So shout out to all you. It felt like a festival, and that's what I was saying to everybody before. I was like, when wrestlers are saying to me, what happens if it rains? It's like, I was saying jokingly, thinking that hopefully it's not going to rain. Hopefully I'm like putting good power into the earth, not I mean, so I was like, if it rains, it rains. Not I mean, what would you do if you were in a band and you were playing a festival and it started raining? You wouldn't stop. Obviously, I guess it's probably a bit less dangerous, to be honest. Not I mean, but still. So I said to all the wrestlers, I said to everybody, if anybody that doesn't want to wrestle, I'll still pay you half of your wage so that you're not losing out on the money. And I could, because I don't want anybody to get hurt. And the funniest part about it is the one guy that got hurt on the show was off me with a flying elbow by accident. I bust his eye open, know what I mean? So sorry about that, mate.
But no, it was brilliant. It worked out absolutely fine. And
that's what I was saying. I kept saying to people, I wanted it's like a festival and that, and then it ended actually up, it was kind of like a festival. We had like 25 benches that seated 6 people each. We had chairs all out, people just standing. It was really good, and we'd like to maybe do it again next year, fingers crossed, with the rain being there. The rain can go to Spain for a wee day.
But other than that, rain, it was just a shame that when it did start raining, it was like battering down, and then it just stopped.
Because that thing about the tarpaulin, like, definitely top 5 ideas I've ever had in my life. Because see as well, the actual canvas was soaking, but no, it was soaking. So I thought my ring's ruined here. This is soaked right through. Took the ring canvas off, took the tarpaulin off, and all the foam was bone dry. I mean bone dry. I was honestly, local man realises tarpaulin is waterproof. That's what it was like, man. I was celebrating. Honestly, I was wanting a Nobel Peace Prize at first, not meaning a Pulitzer Award or something like that. Honestly, but then obviously everybody pointed out it is waterproof. You've not reinvented the wheel, Davie. But I was proud of myself, not I mean.
That's good. So, and then on to Sunday was our friend Mikey's show, which was...
so see, the Friday, Saturday, they were our shows, right?
Everybody gets confused about this.
Was the Wanderer, Mikey the Wanderer's shows, and it's not like, obviously we do help out a lot and stuff like that, but I feel like there's two different shows, because obviously me and the Wanderer's brains are different. But I just feel, I'm moaning here about something that I shouldn't be moaning about, because at the end of the day, like when people talk about like going for a burger or something like that, they usually say about a McDonald's. People are talking about got Scottish wrestling, and they're saying Ravie Davie's CPW's company. They're just basically making them out. They can't differentiate, and they're all just saying it's mine. So I should actually be like, yes, man. But I don't know, the Wanderer sometimes lets people go behind that bar and fight and stuff like that. Know what I mean? I don't want other venues thinking it's me that lets people do that. Know what I mean? So just putting that out there. If you've got a nice venue and you want a wrestling show at it, contact me. Don't.
No, so obviously Mikey started running the shows. His company's called Attitude Pro Wrestling, and so we like giving him the credit for it.
Aye, obviously that as well, to be fair, because to be fair, shout out to Mikey as well. If it wasn't for the Wanderer this weekend with Hornswoggle, it wouldn't have happened. It was him that had his wee gonads to go and message him and ask him to come over and be a part of the show. So 10 out of 10 for the Wanderer. If anybody enjoyed themselves because of the Hornswoggle thing, obviously me and Jordan did do a lot of it, but if it's no for the Wanderer, it doesn't happen as well. So make sure to give the boys flowers, the wee spiky hot dog that he is.
But it was a fantastic weekend, and Hornswoggle, I want to put this out to the universe, has said he's going to come on the podcast.
Nah, fingers crossed. That's what we were asking.
So we were just asking Curtis
if we can get somebody up there on Zoom, because we might have our first guest, and I know Big 50 will be raging, I know, because he wants to be the first guest, but I'm sorry, big man. I'm absolutely sorry.
What did you say to Hornswoggle yesterday when you asked him?
I just said to him, we've just started a podcast, me and Georgia. We're only a few episodes and we'd love you to be our first guest. He just said, he's like, of course, anything for my work wife.
I actually don't know how we ended up. I think he must have just thought...
Do you know what you're saying as well, you were talking about, he would have loved that, right? See, obviously all these big famous wrestlers as well, when they go to places, as soon as they go into a motor with a guy, guys are probably at them.
Yeah.
But it's like being in the ring with John Cena, what's it like doing this and that? And George, when he's getting in the motor with George is like that. Do you know who Luke Combs is?
That's what I said to him, and he said to me, yeah, he's one of my buddies. I was like, I'm so jealous. And he said he got free tickets for his show last year and took all his family. And I was like, oh.
And what happened? Why was he annoyed about the tickets?
So he's annoyed about the tickets because obviously Hornswoggle's small.
He's a leprechaun. He's giving he's a leprechaun with it.
So he's small, and he said that he got like seats on the floor, seated, and he can't see a thing. So he says whenever he's in crowds at shows, he hates it because obviously I just stare at people's arses all night.
I mean, if you're at a Shania Twain concert or something like that, no, I mean, it's probably not that bad, but if you're at Luke Combs, it's probably a lot of big hairy arse guys. Not.
So he ended up getting moved, so he was just saying stuff like quite a lot about that. It was all, so I think we just got on pretty well. And then he also said to me as well that he loved Percy Pigs, and he said he didn't know that they sold Percy Pigs in Scotland. I was like, right, that's it. When I woke up yesterday Sunday morning, went out to Marks and Spencer's in Partick and got them, like, obviously in Marks and Spencer's got all different variations, like Percy Pigs and all different gums, and he opened the bag, and when he opened it, he got in the car yesterday, he was so tired, and he was saying to me like the jet lag and stuff had kicked in, his body was sore and that, and he was like, oh, thank you. And I thought, oh god, he doesn't seem that like happy about it. But then when I took him back to the airport at night. He was like, "Where's my sweeties?" And he was like, "I'm going back up the stair to eat these," and he was so grateful, and it was just so nice. So he said he'll come on the podcast. He said to me, "Message me next week." So I'm going to give him like a full week, because he said that he basically has got his own wrestling school in America, and he also does 2 or 3 shows per weekend every month, and just gives himself 1 weekend off. So that just shows like how busy he really is. So I was so grateful.
He also said that if I'm in America and I'm in there the time that he's running a show, I'll be able to get on them. So here's hoping.
Fingers crossed.
I know, let's get ourselves out to Milwaukee.
We've been on such a high, although it was so stressful. And then we've come back to the earth today.
Definitely, especially when I walked in that house at 7:30 this morning. You know what I mean? But one good thing is, at least I managed to walk in at 7:30 this morning. Whereas we've actually got a wee story we'd like to tell today about one of the times where your man Ravie Davie was out at my wee goddaughter's, Millie Spider-Bam's daughter, her christening, and it was actually the day before Bo started primary 2 or 3 or something. So me and Georgia, I don't know. Is there any guys out there that this just seems to happen, right? Anytime, it doesn't happen to be fair, right? But anytime you're going out a night out, or anytime anything's coming up, somehow something just, your missus just remembers something, or something comes up, or she isn't happy anymore. And it's never anything to do with the fact that you're on a night out. No, I mean, it's never heaven forbid that she lets you know she's not happy with you being out. It'll be something else that'll come up that's just happened to rear its ugly head again. So that's what happened this time, right? Oh, madness, I know, right? So I've been told that the Waynes get school tomorrow, starting school. If I come home and I better not wake anybody up, or I'm fucking getting my balls booted, as you can imagine. Dogs abuse, everything. So I'm out at the christening, ends up going on a bit later than you think. I go home, I realise I've lost my keys. And usually, right, I would just chat the door, I would just take it, right? But I was like, the wee man's got school. I'm thinking of the wee man, I'm not thinking about myself, I'm not thinking about Georgia, I'm thinking about the Wayne. That's a thing that comes up quite a lot. But I was thinking, if I wake him up for school, that's a shame, because he was at the age of now when he's enjoying school and stuff like that, so didn't want to make his first day of school be miserable. So
what did you do?
I went, you can see what I done. I went and went to sleep.
Loads of people listening on Spotify who don't know.
Oh, my bad. So I was like build up before you did say it. So I went round to the back door. I tried to get in there. Nope, but no happening. So I'm sitting down, he'd spinning. Oh no, my God. I remember, wait a minute, we've got a trampoline. Look at it. Man, it looks quite comfy. Start making my way here. You can notice I've not actually got any shoes on, so before I go on the trampoline, clip my shoes off, and I lie down.
Get his wee suit jacket.
Put my suit jacket on myself. You can see here's something that I also tried to put on myself, but I don't think that was too thin, so I got rid of that. Flung that away. Here is me in the bed. Now this is golden, obviously, right? But this isn't the best part. The best part is Georgia, when she goes to do the dishes in the morning, like, where is this idiot? Will you tell your part? No.
Because I've got a completely different perception of this story, which is interesting. So it probably won't surprise you. So what actually happened was, we were going to this christening, right? And are we drinking at the christening? No, we're taking Bo. We're not going out. But David gets to the christening. He's enjoying himself. So he's staying out, and he's saying to me, "Do you want to go out?" And I say, I can't go out because Bo's starting school, so I would want to do that anyway. But 2, I also have no babysitters at all. So if I'm going somewhere, which is really rare, I need to plan weeks in advance. So David does this thing where, drop you a hat. He just decides he wants to go, which is fair enough because both my age, you know what I mean?
My way enough.
I know, but then obviously you can make decisions there and then. But whereas for me, when I'm making a decision, I'm thinking about me and Bo. Whereas you just go.
So was happening, and then I chatted on, went and slept in the trampoline.
Well, exactly. So if you wanted to get pneumonia or all that, then that was your choice. So I woke up in the morning, I thought, that's really weird that he's not here. And I was trying to text him, no reply. And then I was like, I'm just going to need to go to work and take Bo to school. So next time, I was actually just about to leave, and I opened the blinds. And when I opened the blind, I went to walk him in, and something just caught my eye. And I was like, no fucking way. And goes down the stair, opened the door, and then I thought, I just want to shut this door so much and go to work and just leave him. But I didn't want to, because then I knew that you would then need to come all the way up to town to my work with this suit on and and get the keys. So I walked out to the trampoline and I'm like, what are you doing? You're like, oh, I lost my key, sorry. So although you're acting
What did I say?
like
Can you repeat that? I can't quite understand.
I lost my key, I'm sorry. And then, so as the days gone on, I was actually livid, but then when I got into work, everybody was rolling about laughing.
I could tell them what you obviously done. How's
I know, I'm
going.
So everybody was laughing, then I thought, right, okay, this is actually quite funny, like stop being like so raging all the time, Georgia. And I posted the photo on my Facebook and I tagged him. But then the next time I then started getting all these notifications.
Ladies.
Aye.
If you're looking for your man, if you're looking for your man after a night out, you might find him sleeping on the trampoline, then obviously went right through, slaughtered me. And then that was probably George's first ever viral post.
Exactly, because then it was like, then the Sun just picked it up and wrote this big article about it, and then my managers in work were all saying to me, oh, did you see your boyfriend was in the paper? That was my managers for when I worked in the bank.
Santander.
And yes, and so since then I don't think there's been any other times where you've no come in until this morning. So I'm texting him like, where are you? Because I'm thinking, right, okay, he could be in the shed this time.
To be fair, I see, because I know I really need to stop talking about how busy and how much I work, right? But see, because I day but work, so I'm a wee winding down places in the shed. I'll stick Football Manager in there and I'll just sit at night time. See the amount of times I fall asleep in that shed, man. I wake up, obviously, as soon as I wake up, I'm like, right, back to my bed, man, up the stair, go to sleep. But so it wouldn't have been the first time I fell asleep in that shed if that's what I was. But that's a good way to segue into a wee question I want to ask. So ladies, or even guys, to be honest, but I doubt there's going to be many guys that have had this situation happen with their partners. But ladies, where is the weirdest place you've found your man after a night out? Where have you found him? Have you found him in the bathtub? Have you found him in your knicker drawer? Have you found him
in the clothes?
No, I mean, in his ex's house? No, I mean, I don't know. But I get them in. We'll maybe put it up on Instagram and stuff like that as well. Yeah. So you can get your answer and we can keep that anonymous if you want. Or if you want a wee shout out with your story, get them in and let us know. We'll be reading them off on episode 7.
Yeah, we're getting so much interaction now on the YouTube with the comments and stuff. Somebody's left a really good question which we're going to
a full episode about it.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was a girl, I can't remember the name, but she's wrote, can you do an episode talking about what it's like having ADHD and what it's like living with someone with ADHD? And I'm like, fantastic, we love this
George
stuff.
just like their gloves.
I'm like, here we go, this is my moment. But no, that is, so if you can leave us wee comments even on the Instagram or whatever, then it'll give us a chance to reply to them. So over the last couple of weeks we have been speaking about a particular emotion. David was, obviously because he's feeling pretty fragile today, he says, can we not just talk about what makes us happy about each other? I said, you've not given me enough time to prepare for that. I said, because I don't want to come in and just say, when you wrestle, I want to put my thought into it.
No, but it's weird, isn't it? The one that when I was annoyed, what irritates me, they didn't take her any time. She had, I feel like she had notepads put away for that one. No, I mean, that was dusted off quickly.
I could do part 2 on that.
The one about me being happy, but not, David, I'm going to 3 to 4 business weeks, not to get that one done.
Aye. But we agreed on the fact that we're going to talk about what we like about each other. How many about a day?
It's 3, innit?
3. Okay, right, am I going first?
You're going first.
Right. This is a really strange one. This has been a turning point for me, but I like the fact that you don't give a shit. You don't care about what anybody thinks about you. You don't care whether people like it or not. You don't care about trolls. You don't care if they're hating or they're appreciating. As long as they're giving you attention, David, you just absolutely don't care. And that's weird because I used to really get annoyed about the fact that you don't care, but now it's probably the thing I like most about you, and I'm like, I wish I could be more like that, because like, we don't care what people think, but you're just doing your own thing. And I'm like, there should be more people in the world like you. You look like you're about great.
Well, no, that's cute. One of the main things that I like about Georgia, obviously, except for wee bump knuckle. That's just a bit of a comedy cam, doesn't it? I joked in the land, obviously, no fuck's sake. Right, but the wee thing I like about Georgia, with all the things I just said one of the big things I like about you, so one of the main things I like about George, obviously myself having ADHD and that.
So you like something about about me, about yourself?
Listen. So obviously I'm quite chaotic. my brain's like a swivel. I'm never really. It's hard to get to places and time and stuff like that. All these things. Whereas Georgia is the opposite. I really love that. I really like it about her. She's very, very organised, and it can be a fault sometimes where she's too organised. And if you tell her, if you tell her a time, she's shouting you 4 minutes before it. And with me having ADHD, I need to leave at the time that I give you. No, I mean, no, I don't need to, but like. The way I prepare, if it's 2:45 that we're leaving, I will probably be late. I'll probably be ready 5 minutes after it, to be honest. But I'll know there's no chance I'll be ready 3 minutes before it. No, I mean that's crazy talk. But our organisation helps me get better. It helps me get on time with stuff. It helps me not be as chaotic and stuff like that. So I like that about Georgia because it is the yin to my yang.
Oh, I love that. Okay, number 2 for me is I kind of like and love this one, so I don't know if this is...
Like and love, same thing, isn't it, really? Not?
Yeah. Is your relationship with Bo, but also your relationship with all the wee wens in the school as well, because they're all just like, you're like other stepdads. It just took me back to Hornswoggle telling Bo to call him stepdad on Saturday night after Hamilton. I went, fuck, my stepdad's this way.
You don't call him Dan, or do you just say that?
Bo went like that. No. And I said to Bo was telling David the story, and David said, "Aye, right, so do you call him stepdad?" He went, "No, I called him Dad."
You'd have to.
So I love that about you. Bo, I think it's clear to say that he likes you better than anybody else in this world.
My thing with it being I don't know, I never had a dad myself growing up. I've always wanted a family because I didn't really have a family much myself. So ever since I've had Bo in my life, I've just treated him as my wee best pal. And people used to always say like, oh, that's your dad or your stepdad, just because we look so similar as well. And Bo would always, and I would always say to Bo, because I didn't want him to feel uncomfortable, because I had a dad, I didn't want to confuse him. I've known him since I was 1 year old, so I didn't want to confuse him. So I'd always be like, I'm not his dad, I'm his best pal, you know what I mean? And then eventually Bo would start saying that to people, be like, that's not my daddy, that's my friend, right? And then one day we were in Jamaica, I ended up getting I'm feeling so fragile today. One day we were in Jamaica and the guy goes like that to him, your daddy helped you with that? And he goes like, that's not my daddy, that's my stepdad. Honestly, I was like...
David was greeting at the time. We're just about to go on we're in the middle of the jungle somewhere about to do a zip slide, and David's just standing at the side greeting. And then since then...
Because obviously as well, but I never tried to force it on him or anything. It just was something that was so natural and organic, you know what I mean? We obviously have got a bond that was like... There's not really many people in the world that go a bond like to us, but obviously...
you got
that happened, I'm close to it, to be fair. Once they said that, I mean, it was just everything I'd ever wanted, you know what I mean? But like, I didn't want, as I said, I didn't want to like, chase it and make him feel like he had to call me his stepdad, because at the end of the day, I was just his big pal David for the House from the Streets. That stayed with his mom and annoyed them.
That's so
Played
nice.
wrestling with him.
That's your turn.
You want me to
tell something else about you?
No. So, what I like about Georgia, right? What I like about Georgia is there's obviously millions of things that I like about her, but it is...
I feel like you're making one up on the spot right now.
No, the thing I like about Georgia, right, is she can always find a good deal on a holiday, right? She's laughing, but she likes it. I know about herself, you know what I mean? Because the amount of things I get said to myself every week, let's go here, let's go there, let's go everywhere. Unfortunately, it's not an unfortunate thing, because you need to come back to build and stuff like that. But this is probably, with the wrestling shows and that, this is the least amount of holidays we've been on in a year. Yet it's probably double the amount of holidays and flights I'm getting sent off Georgia. Let's go here, let's go there. And I love that, because I myself... love travelling. Me and Georgia actually always have an argument every year, because she wants to go to Tenerife every December. I'm like, let's go somewhere that's no Spain. You know what I mean? Why? Let's go to... honestly, why not? Her thing is, let's go somewhere sunny in December, right? Let's save up a wee bit extra and go to Mexico or Barbados. Somewhere else is going to be sunny and no Spain every year at December. Mind you, saying that, we'll probably go to Tenerife this December.
That's
so I like that about Georgia. And then especially now it's helped with the wrestling as well now, because she can get cheap flights for wrestlers there, she can get cheap flights for me to go out and wrestle places and that as well. So it's good.
That's funny you've just said that, because that's what I was going to say about you. I like the fact that you're spontaneous, because I would be so rigid, do the same things every day in my life for the rest of my life, whereas for you, you're like, nah, we're not doing that, we're switching this up and we'll just go and try something different. Then when I did try something different, I'm like, right, okay, we're right. I did look for deals on holidays.
Good shit. Keep doing it.
Aye. I enjoy doing it. I don't know. I just enjoy looking at holidays and thinking. I'm not against Mexico and that. I just feel like quite a lot of the time where we do try new places, like every holiday we go on, it rains, right?
Aye.
Whereas
we actually take rain ways.
Whereas in Tenerife and that, I feel like you kind of know what you're getting.
Last 2 times we've been in Tenerife, what happened, but
but it's not that much.
Still happened, but
we were in Thailand and that, it was absolutely bucketing down. Don't get me wrong, it only lasts like a couple hours and then it'll stop. But I just feel like, especially as well, if you're going somewhere in December, it's already a bit risky. So I tend to just always say go and I know just why I go to Tenerife. I would go anywhere else in Spain that's just going to be
so it's me basically. If I'm going to Spain, you may as well just go to Tenerife and nothing. But I don't.
Also, as well, I feel like I would be up for going to like Greece and stuff like that. I've been there before, but in December, which is the time when we are both quietest.
I know they're cold.
They're cold. So what are we meant to do?
Mexico, Barbados, they're warm at that time.
Yeah.
And in Mexico, I can take wrestling gear and get a couple of bookings.
Everything is revolved around David wrestling because people keep saying to me this year, how many holidays have you been on? But I've been to a couple. The only holiday that I've been on is
Morocco.
We've been to Morocco and been to Venice with my mum. But all the other places we've been to have all been for you for wrestling. And actually, they're really quick trips.
So Belgium was December, wasn't it?
Yeah. So they're really wee quick trips there and back.
And for work.
And it's for work. So yeah. Anyway, last one for you.
Last one. I like that you've come out your shell since you came. You've been going with me since we've been in the 10 years that we've been in. Just because, like George was saying about me spontaneous, one of the reasons that I'm all like this is because I try and encourage everybody to live their life to the fullest. You never know what's going to happen. Bringing it making things morbid and that again, obviously. Like, I lost my mum when I was very young. I didn't have a dad and stuff like that. I didn't really have that many family members around me and stuff like that. So it's just like, you never know what's going to be around the corner. You never know what's going to happen in life. So why you don't want to be in your hospital bed living life with regrets and stuff like that. So I try and encourage everybody. But Georgia, like a lot of people are normal. Georgia's no. Kid, but Georgia's obviously like a bit more shyer than a lot. When I met her, especially at first, she was a lot less shy than a lot of other people. A lot shyer than most people. Didn't have as much confidence in that thing. Would have just ate beans and toast every day of life and stuff like that. And I have. Facts it is. And I have dragged that out of her. I've got her. She was trying tackles last week, which honestly was one of the proudest moments of my life. And you honestly like to yourself, that shut up, dude. No, but honestly, see if you've seen this beans on toast basic bitch a couple of years ago, I mean, you'd be like, fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
That's not valid.
Hornswoggle's against beans on toast, by the way.
Is he?
Aye, Americans hate it, man.
Really?
I think it's crazy that we do that.
He was asking me as well if HP is so popular in Scotland, and I'm like, what, brown sauce? And he's like, HP. And I said, brown sauce, and he's like, yeah, same thing. And he was asking me if what's more popular, ketchup or brown sauce, and we were getting into all this. He was just asking loads of things, like, what do you say for this? What do you say for that? And he's like, why do you keep saying half past? He's like, half past, like, what does that mean? And then he said, so what else do you say? I said, well, quarter past, half past, and quarter to. And he's like, whoa, too much. It was so funny. There's so many things that I can think of the weekend. It was fab.
I know, it was great. And that's now our third. Eric Young, Santino, and then Hornswoggle. So that's our third big former WWE superstar. And actually in September we were meant to have another big former WWE, WWF star. Gangrel was meant to be coming over for the 13th of September, but unfortunately he has hurt himself. He's got injured. He's had to get a hip replacement. So he can't make the 13th of September, which...
We have been crying.
Aye.
No,
I said earlier, if I don't make it to 50, it's because of the shows we've done this weekend. Well, if I don't make it to 40, it's because of this Gangrel thing.
Aye, this has been really stressful for the start. It's been really so much work.
It started off because, as well, we're doing it through a third part. We're doing it through, so with wrestling, with these shows, right, the American wrestlers are obviously a lot more expensive. You also have to fly them over from America, so I'm not sure if you've been to America before, you know, flights, but the flights are quite expensive. So instead of me and Georgia paying £12,000 or whatever it is, you usually talk to another wrestling company and you'll do some business where you'll pay half of the flight seats, you'll fly them over, you'll have it'll be a team thing so that you aren't all spending all the money yourselves. So us in Flash, Morgan Webster, Wild Boar, Pro Wrestling Chaos down in Bristol had been coming together to try and get this to work, and while we'd been doing that, we'd been going back and forth trying to book his flights, and obviously me being erratic as heck, so it was technically through 4 people, so it was going from Gangrel to Flash Morgan Webster to your old dad Ravie Davie to wee Notepad Nisbet, right? So 4 people was the direct line of contact, and because of this we may or may not have booked the flights wrong.
Yep, because he can't take direction off of nobody, and as well,
I think Gangrel probably can take direction.
I kept saying to him, "Can you just send?" Yeah, no, you. Sorry, no Gangrel, you. But he, David, I kept saying to him, "Can you just send me it so I can look at it myself?" And he kept saying, just shouting it out. He was just shouting the answers out.
I've also got this thing that I don't know the right time for it, but I like, if I've got a code thing, I like saying it all in the one big breath and trying to get you to be able to remember it all. And I was doing that with Georgia. We're dealing
most
with,
of the time I can't remember it.
We're dealing with thousands of pounds of money here for flights and stuff like that. Really, really serious, and I'm mucking about. So. And
most of the time when he shouts stuff out, I get it. But this was so important. I kept saying to him, "Can you just send me a copy?" And he wasn't doing it. So it turns out the flights were all wrong, and Gangrel was absolutely...
Got his frequent flyer miles wrong and stuff like that. And
it was just loads of stuff. But anyway, we managed to sort it, and then that was like, we felt at ease after that, and then we've then been told obviously he's hurt himself. He's doing well though, to be fair, the operation.
He's got his operation, everything's fine.
Which means that he'll be able to come back next year and wrestle hopefully, but we've been trying to find a replacement for the last 10 days, and
unfortunately either everybody's already booked or TNA are running shows,
it's just not a good weekend for getting people,
or the other guys that we were offered. Like, I was talking to some people and I think they could smell blood in the water, that they were kind of desperate and they're trying to charge us more than the actual budget dictates, and unfortunately, you know, you can't pull money for your arse, can't you? Know what I mean? Doesn't matter.
You could.
I know. If I could, probably wouldn't be doing a wee podcast now. It'd be in Barbados, know what I mean? Pulling all that money on a yacht.
But anyway, this
so
is
because of that,
what it's like.
And because of that, people were the ones that I'd feel that if we'd just contacted them before we had an injury, I feel like we'd have been able to afford them, but now they can smell that quite desperate. So we're moving Gangrel hopefully to next year, and the show will still be on the 13th of September. The good thing I think about CPW is we have the CPW wrestlers are the show. They are the reason that people come. The former WWE superstars are just an added bonus that we happen to get. So anybody has bought a ticket, this won't actually be out until it's announced anyway, so we're going to actually be doing a 6 women's ladder match, the first ever women's ladder match in Scottish wrestling history. The ticket to the top, whoever wins this I have a chance to be the #1 contender for the Women's Championship for 1 year. In this match will be former WWE superstar Millie McKenzie, the top female wrestler in Europe right now, Emerson Jane, Anita Vaughan, one of the rising stars in European women's wrestling, former CPW champion Elliot Armstrong, Raven Creed, an Irish wrestler who has wrestled lots of ladder matches, and last but certainly not least, up-and-coming superstar wrestler Cassie Cook. So this is going to be a 6 women's ladder match that's never been done before in Scotland. Obviously, it's maybe not like for like with Gangrel, but we're trying to bring something that will provide entertainment and value for money for the show. And if you do come along, if you bought a ticket for Gangrel and you've not asked for a refund or anything like that yet, I actually promise you, if you come along, you'll still enjoy yourself and you'll get to see Gangrel at some point next year.
Yes. Yeah, so that was a big announcement.
Yep.
We've been panicking about that, but it'll sort itself out.
Well, every time we get one of the things about running shows and stuff, like, you're obviously going to get stressed about these things, but I feel like the stress actually helps us perform at our best. And also, anytime we get stressed about stuff, we always end up saying to each other at the end of the weekend, we didn't even really need to be that stressed about that. It always ends up saying to work at the end.
The stress comes for trying to make it go well.
Exactly.
And be perfect. And
you want everything to go right. You want these things are like months. Even though the show's like 3 hours, we're planning this months and months in advance. So it's like something that you're putting a lot of hard work into, and then it could and it's only as a 3 hour show, so you could put months and months of work into it, and then one thing goes wrong and you feel like everything's fucked now.
Yeah,
everything's everything's messed up, all these things, when as you should really just be trying to see one negative isn't going to take away all the positive. But Paul Heyman once said it in Glasgow when he was doing a tour. He said that if you do one bad thing on your show, something goes wrong, you're going to eat yourself up about that rather than praise yourself for all the hundreds of good things that you've done.
Yeah. So
I feel like the stress has went away. I've took a wee day off today for the first time in donkeys, obviously the podcast. And actually I'll be honest, I love this. I love doing this every week. I love coming in and filming this. I love getting to spend time with my partner, getting her out of shell a wee bit.
I've got to say you love spending time with Curtis.
I mean, obviously man, Curtis my man. That's why I invited him on Friday, you know what I mean? Curtis will be at bear wrestling shows, I mean him just in the back fucking shooting the shit. Monday, Wednesday beginners class, mate. No, I mean, well, we can't do Monday beginners class because we need you in here, but Wednesday.
So yes, I think we've covered everything, but I've got one question about Ashley.
Right.
You need to say idol.
That's not a question, that's a blackmail.
Will you watch Love Is Blind UK with me?
Since we've got a podcast and I feel like we need to make more time to watch stuff and review stuff and that. No, I'll watch it with you.
Okay.
Let's go home tonight, into bed.
You got to fall asleep.
Promise
you,
just
too tired tonight.
But we'll get one episode in a night.
Yeah.
Then we can distribute that next week.
It's really popular. Loads of people are watching it now. I'll watch it all the time. This is the first UK show. And you're not really into reality TV, but I think you'll like this.
Right, cool, let's do that.
And
let's shake on it.
I can't reach you for there. I'm scared in case I hit my mic. Oh. That looks so wrong.
Oh, especially the boat in front of it.
But the last thing I had was food reviews, but I've not been eating anything. I was making all my food before I came to the shows to make sure, because we end up going like, you've never eaten like 17 hours.
Honestly, so I did eat yesterday and Sunday, but it was only one thing I ate yesterday, and I actually forgot about it, and George was like that to me, when was the last time you ate? And I was like, Saturday night. But it wasn't lucky I did eat something on Sunday, you know what I mean?
It was one slice of pizza for Greg's?
Aye, one pepperoni pizza for Greg's.
You didn't even eat that yet, half of that, because Ross took, and you ate the wee cheese bites or something, and that was it. So it's actually the easiest thing to do, be at shows, feel it really early on, and no eat the full day.
Do you know what happens usually as well? When you remember to eat, you look around, you realise, something needs to get done, so I'll do that before, and then by the time you're like, oh no, doors are in this amount of time, if I go I'm not going to get back, and just all these different kind of things. So I hadn't ate since Saturday. What I did eat on Saturday was a big ass Yaya's.
What is that on the Paisley Road?
Yeah, They've got two locations now. So the one they started was in the Paisley Road West, and they've managed to now get a sitting restaurant in the St Enoch Centre. So what I got a big, it's like a kebab. It's like a big, it's like the German doner kebabs, to be honest. So basically they specialise in German doner kebab and peri peri, you know what I mean? Which I feel like it's two crazies that came over the last couple of years. Like people are right big into Nando's, Black Rooster. People are also like German doner kebab and all that stuff. Well, Yaya's decided, let's milk both these cows and put them together. But honestly, usually I don't like places that do that, right? I always think you should put your eggs in the one basket. But Yaya's have done it right, because it's absolutely fantastic. I got the big kebab. I got the kebab with the chicken and the lamb, the meat. Smashed that. It was lovely. I'd give that an 8 out of 10. And then something that I'm a fiend for these right now. Loaded fries.
You said that last
I did that. But I'm alright. That's what I'm saying. Well, you know I'm not lying, because I'll say it again. I'll say it next week as well. Fuck's sake. Right, I love loaded fries, and these ones were like peri peri loaded fries. So it was like cheese, peri mayo, peri actual sauce, the chicken, the cheese, again, more cheese hopefully, chips and all that. I was just scranning away. I was like 2 bites left in the German doner, and there was no loaded fries left. Couple of mozzarella sticks as well. 9 out of 10 for the loaded fries. The mozzarella sticks weren't up too much, to be honest, but I think that was just, they got cold in transit. Happens, but anyway, so I'll give it a 7, 8, 9. So 7, 8, 9, that's 15. You add so 24 divided by 3 is 8. So we'll get we'll average it out 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Get yourself a yes.
Thanks for that great review.
You're welcome.
Right,
It was lovely. It was lovely. So the meat on the kebab was so rich, and the sauce on it was very, like, it brought out
so tender.
No, but it brought out the when you're eating it, it brings out the freshness of the meat and stuff like that, because you can just taste it. Obviously the chicken was well prepared, char grilled on the wee grill thing. So I honestly, you know what? Go and get a yayas and you'll see for yourself, right? Don't let me sitting here in my hungover state, getting in the morning at 7:30, sitting, going tangents because I've got ADHD and I work very, very hard, right? Don't listen, go and date for yourself.
Boring.
And that's what's happening, troops.
Thank you, bye.
Was that, it's gone right, I felt those right. See you later, troops. Thank you for tuning in. Well, I was just doing that as a wee laugh, just to annoy you because I've not to see it.
Oh, no.
But I mean, as well, I suppose it is a good time to go. Know what I mean? Curtis is definitely a Chinese watch like that. Right, guys, we've got something to get in here next. So thank you very much. This has been episode 6. Let's get on with the engagement. Let's know where your partners have woke up the next day or where you've found them. Let's know what you want to see is eating. Let's know if you've been watching Love or Blind. All these kind of different. I don't know. Let's get a game of blinds, man. Buff, man. Fuck it. Duck lights off, Curtis, and get a blindfold on so you can catch who first.
Right, we need to go.
And that, not I've been Ravie Davie, she's been George and Isbit, he's been Curtis, and this is the 10 Years In podcast, and we're out of here.
Bye.